being said is that life came, life developed how? By the splitting of the atom. You took a rib out of atom, means you split the atom. So then it proves, you prove the existence of an intelligence thousands of years ago. Far, far superior. I mean, you're talking about splitting the atom as thousands of years ago in the Bible, hidden under the allegory that Paul told us about, you know, in Genesis 24, Galatians 4:24, the Apostle Paul says, talking about the Old Testament, which things are an allegory. Well, that's an allegory. You take a rib out of atom and you multiply life. You take an electron out of atom, atom, and you multiply energy. You split the atom. And that's what's said in the first couple of pages of the book of Genesis. But, you know, the religious crowd, the born-again crowd, can't deal with this because it makes sense. So they would rather that, you know, we're going ahead and we're going to rip a rib out of it. I mean, you're looking at material in the Bible that's written by the eastern people of the desert. They wrote in deep symbolisms and deep mysteries. They didn't write literal. You can't take it literally. If you look at the word yoga, that's a word that, well, what is yoga? Yoga is a kind of a system of exercise for attaining bodily and mental control and well-being. You know, that's pretty good. Now, Jesus Christ, he turns around and says the kingdom of God is within you. So, in other words, Jesus is saying that the kingdom of, that what we call, or what he called the kingdom of God is not some place like religion has. They think you're going to go up there. Oh, poor Uncle Charlie, he died, he's in heaven now. He's going to be, you know, walking around some town somewhere. He's, you know, he was as screwed up when he was here, so he'd be just as screwed up there. But Jesus says, no, the kingdom of heaven is not that. What is called the kingdom of heaven is a state of consciousness. It's a way people think. In other words, when you start being nice and you don't make guns and bombs, but instead you feed little children. You don't like little children in like Somalia starving to death. When you treat women, when you treat minority, when you treat everybody the same as you're treated, then heaven starts to pour forth. But it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Okay. But Jesus says something very interesting. He refers to yoga in Matthew 11, verse 28, and he says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you." Was this statement original with Jesus? Now listen to this, to the Buddha.